The following program contains immature and adult subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Still fucking one. And with real-life Bond villain Elon Musk beavering away on X, spreading a flurry of slurry across the Gooniverse, and Jeff Bezos crouched in a filleting position ready to receive the royal orange cock of the tax-dodging
Warning, the following contains images of animals in their natural habitat. Viewer discretion.
Dodging multi-millionaire felon who's now running the show. America is now a fully fledged plutocracy.
Re-envisioned.
The decline of the American empire. Next.
Stop! Stop, ma'am! Stop!
Shocking video showing the moment ICE agents smashed a car window and forcibly removed a man in New Bedford. 29-year-old Juan Francisco Mendez has no criminal record and was awaiting his final documentation to solidify his asylum status.
They said they were looking for a certain individual by a different name. And I said, that's not my client.
This ring camera footage shows them knocking on doors at Ivy Crossing Apartments when one agent covers the camera with tape.
As soon as I take the oath of office, we will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of our country, even larger than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower many years ago. He was a big deportation person.
I want to talk about an imaginary line that two guys drew with a ruler.
That artificial line that looks like it was done with a ruler, and that's what it was. Some guy sat there years ago and they said, rah.
Nationalist movements tend to kind of exploit patriotism for their own cause. Like, take a slogan like, Make America Great Again, or America First. They go down easy. They sound patriotic.
Story will have you fired up this morning. U.S. soldiers now learning about the dangers of white privilege.
We have a story that will make your blood boil. Infamous social justice warrior Colin Kaepernick is now the brand new face of a Nike ad campaign.
Where are you from, Mexico? You from Mexico?
A warning tonight from authorities about people impersonating those agents.
You're going back to Mexico.
And that's because lumping an undeniable statement of patriotism into your cause is like the ultimate cheat.
Get out. Look. Open the door. No, hey. You can! You can! It's illegal! Okay. Amigo. No. It's illegal. Hey, it's legal. Get out. Hey. No. Get out of the car. Get out of my car. Girl. Get out. No. Girl. I have video. I have seen you. Look. It's raining. Hey. No. Hey, oh my God. Open the door. It's raining.
In a video shared widely on social media, a South Carolina man police have identified as Sean Michael Johnson is seen telling the Latino driver of this truck he's going to be sent back to Mexico.
No, you cannot drive, boy. You have not a license. No, you cannot.
At one point, taking the keys out of the ignition, dangling them in front of the driver, and mocking his accent.
Don't be speaking that pig Latin in my country, bro.
It's amazing to me how ridiculous people are about international law.
You just paid your taxes. This next story will piss you off.
It is not illegal to cross a border. There's no law in America that says you can't cross our border. Not one. You just have to turn yourself in to the border agents first chance you get, it says.
Is going to enrage you. You're going to be outraged when we tell you what happened.
Prepare to be outraged. Get ready to be angry. This story's going to make you sick. This story will make you want to throw your newspaper and make your blood boil.
Last week in North Carolina, another horrifying incident when police say this man, Carl Thomas Bennett, was arrested for allegedly impersonating a law enforcement officer and sexually assaulting a woman at a Motel 6, threatening to deport her if she didn't comply. Bennett's attorney did not return NBC's request for comment.
That's all it says. And that's because we signed the Geneva Convention, the first one and the second. We're members of NATO. And we founded the UN. All three of which specifically make it illegal to stop people from crossing your border.
Coming from 181 countries as of yesterday. Right, and we're a dumping ground. We're like a garbage can for the world.
I got upstairs and crying because of the daddy, mom, missus. I don't want my dad.
Those people that are breaking the laws of this country that came across here illegal are going to be mass deported.
These are stone cold killers. They'll walk into your kitchen, they'll cut your throat.
No, the Hispanic people are not doing nothing bad. They're not stealing nothing. My dad bought everything for me to live over here.
Mass deportations, that's what Trump's calling for.
Yes.
That's millions of people.
Well, the people that are here illegally. I don't have any problem with people coming here. My grandparents came here.
It is illegal to not allow somebody to claim asylum.
The rent, and I don't know what I'm going to eat.
I don't know if you call them people. In some cases, they're not people, in my opinion, but I'm not allowed to say that because the radical left says that's a terrible thing to say.
Millions of people, though.
I don't care.
So
I think it has to happen, and I think citizens have to be behind it.
How do you think it's possible to do that humanely?
I don't know that, but I'm confident Trump can do it.
I'm so hungry right now. I need my dad for me.
They're destroying the blood of our country. That's what they're doing.
My dad didn't do nothing. He's not a criminal.
They're destroying the blood of our country. That's what they're doing. They're destroying our country.
You know, America's motto is E pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. By the way, if you're not going with a Latin motto, like, what are you even doing?
It is illegal to stop somebody from claiming they're a refugee. Now, you can decide they're not refugees and you can send them back. But they have the right to claim that they're refugees, and they have a right for a judge to decide.
Casually making sure we can't see.
Has serious implications.
So my first initial reaction was anger.
This week, ICE agents carried out raids across the Denver metro area. This Ring camera footage shows them knocking on doors at Ivy Crossing apartments when one agent covers the camera with tape.
Both the United States Constitution and the Colorado Constitution protect everybody from unlawful and unreasonable searches and seizures.
Kozlowski is basically saying that action is illegal.
That's seizing that camera and that's seizing that person's property rights. If there isn't a warrant, that's the default. That's not lawful.
Inside was a migrant family with young children.
This goes far beyond them just arresting people that they think that they have the authority to arrest or that they should be arresting. This goes to the core of what we allow our government agents to do.
But ultimately, that's not what this video is about. I want to talk about that line drawn with that ruler. I don't know if you've seen the border of New Mexico or Arizona. They didn't phantasmally create that line. You can't see the damn thing from a plane. It was drawn with a ruler like all the others. That's how treaties work. They would draw them with a line till they came to a river, follow the river, and then draw with lines again. Always using, wait for it, a fucking ruler. That's how treaties ended wars.
This is simple supply and demand, my friends. We got to do two things to lower the price of housing. Two things to lower the price of housing for Nevadans is we've got to build more houses and we've got to deport the illegal aliens so that American homes go to American citizens.
But I am sick and tired of people in this country pretending that it's okay to send somebody without seeing a judge.
As patriots, I think we should strive to see ourselves in each other, whereas I feel that the nationalist view is to see yourself and then others.
Well, we might get a couple of innocent people, but that's okay, because we're getting so many of the bad ones. Bullshit. You send one innocent person to prison, I don't give a damn if you got 10 murderers.
It just feels wrong.
These
these photos around me, are these the kids you grew up with? Are these the neighbors you were raised with? Are these the neighbors that you want in your city? No. These are the criminal migrants that Kamala Harris brought into your community. And as swiftly as they came, Donald Trump will send them back.
In this country, you get to see a judge no matter what. It's the way we keep them from sending people they don't like.
The things that terrify some people are the same things that give other people great comfort. You know, it's like the way the sight of a police car might give some people comfort. For instance, white people.
Judas is crying because of their daddy, Mom. I don't want my dad. No, the Hispanic people not doing nothing bad. They're not stealing nothing. My dad bought everything for me to live over here. The rent, and I don't know what I'm going to eat. And I'm so hungry right now. I need my dad for me. My dad didn't do nothing. He's not a criminal.
It's the way we make sure that every man, woman, and child has their rights because a judge got to look at it and check.
I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Think of that. 1798. This was put there. 1798. That's a long time ago, right? To target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil.
Not because there's actual cats in the room, but because there's kids going around licking themselves as they...
Because he said he was going to get rid of the bad hombres. Roberto is a good hombre.
It's the whole goddamn point of our country. The thing that makes us strong, the thing that makes us great, the very thing that is that American idea, the light on a hill shining brightly.
And by the way, if something is truly number one, you don't have to go around saying it all the time. It's kind of like a beta move, really.
That shining city that Reagan spoke of shines because every person in that country, every person in that city had the exact same right as every other person, not every other citizen. That's not what it says. The word citizen's in the Constitution many times. Specific things about and for and how to count citizens. But other places in the exact same document, in the same old style calligraphy. Persons.
I mean, Harvard doesn't take out ads that say, Harvard, the world's #1 college, apply now. The failing Princeton is #3, sad. You know?
And everybody gets due process. Every man, woman, and child, regardless of circumstances. Hell, a damn slave put on trial here for murder, by law, would get a jury trial. I'm not here to say that, those laws were probably followed. But that's what the law was.
You can protect yourself first and foremost by not opening the door. You are not obligated to open the door of your private property, even if law enforcement essentially comes knocking. Terrible time in our country. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. The Latino community is just so resilient at the end of the day. And so there's no question in my mind that we will overcome these challenges, both short-term and long-term.
And if the government had to take your slave for some reason, hell, they even paid back that piece of shit for his slaves. He lost his slave, so he has to be paid back for the chattel they were called. Thank God we moved on from a system where you can just own a person. Thank God we moved on from a system where you can just send a person where you want.
Fuck that guy and his fucking YouTube videos. Stop listening to a man who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, you idiots!
Johnson, who police say tried to report the driver for not having a license, was charged with kidnapping and impersonating a federal officer after the video circulated. Johnson could not be reached for comment.
What do we know about the impersonator there in South Carolina?
That's right, Tom. Well, Johnson posted bail on Saturday, according to court records, and was released from custody. He's due back in court next month. And according to a local police chief in South Carolina who spoke to NBC News, he's not being charged with a hate crime. And that's because South Carolina is actually one of the few states in the country that doesn't have hate crime laws on the books.
That's not America. That's not who we are. We can do better. And if you don't want to, go back to wherever the hell you came from, because you might just be a Nazi.
Nationalism has this, like, we're number one vibe. And I fear that that we're number one nationalism is really like an old bed buddy of racism and xenophobia. Jocelyn, we're not doing that.
Now you've got 20 million, 25 million people. You have to figure out what to do with them. And I guess the way that I think about it, Bill, is, you know, it's kind of like being asked, well, you have a sandwich and it's 10 times the size of your mouth. How do you actually eat the whole thing? And you take it one bite at a time, right? And I think you start with the million most violent, most criminal, illegal alien elements. There's probably, of the 20 million, there's probably 1 million who've committed some violent crime. That's an estimate, but I think it's pretty close to the truth.
No, you don't.
You deport them first and you focus
Take it easy. I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal.
That seemed like a plausible murder-suicide. I don't know. The subconscious is hard to pin down.
Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't negotiate, let's investigate. We'll accelerate as we're taking him down.